Imagine it is still dark outside. The alarm sounds. The room is warm. The bed is comfortable. And for a moment, there is a quiet battle taking place. No one else can see it. No audience is watching. No reward has appeared. Yet something inside you whispers, "Stay here, just a little longer. Tomorrow will be better." Almost 2,000 years ago, Marcus Aurelius knew this battle well. Despite being emperor of Rome, despite commanding armies and governing millions of people, he still struggled with the same resistance that visits us every morning. And so he wrote a reminder to himself, a reminder that would survive centuries. When you have trouble getting out of bed in the morning, remember that your nature is to perform the work of a human being. At first, these words may sound simple, but hidden within them is one of the most powerful lessons in Meditations, Book 5. The problem is not that work is difficult. The problem is that comfort often feels easier than purpose. There is an old story about a monk who lived near a forest. Each morning before sunrise, he would rise from his bed, wash his face in the cold river, and begin his daily duties. One winter morning, a young student complained, "Master, why must we wake so early? The bed is warm. The air is freezing. Surely wisdom can wait until later." The monk smiled and led the student outside. The world was still dark. The trees stood silently. Then the monk pointed toward the horizon. Slowly, the first light of dawn appeared. Birds began to sing. The river continued flowing. The wind moved through the leaves. Everything in nature had already begun its work. The monk turned to the student. "Have you ever seen the sun refuse to rise? Have you ever seen the river postpone its journey? Have you ever seen a bird delay its song because it lacked motivation?" The student laughed. "Of course not." The monk nodded. Then why should a human being who has been given awareness, purpose, and reason be the only creature waiting to feel ready before fulfilling their nature? That question stayed with the student for many years, and perhaps it is a question worth asking ourselves. Modern life often teaches us to wait. Wait until we feel inspired. Wait until conditions are perfect. Wait until confidence arrives. Wait until motivation appears. But Marcus understood something different. Action often comes before motivation, not after it. The person who waits to feel motivated may wait forever. The person who begins despite resistance often discovers motivation along the way. Think about the moments in your life that made you proud. The skills you developed, the goals you achieved, the challenges you overcame. How many began with excitement? And how many began with reluctance? Most meaningful accomplishments are not born from perfect motivation. They are born from consistent action. There is another story told among the monks. A traveler once visited a monastery seeking wisdom. He asked an elderly monk, "What is the secret to accomplishing great things?" The monk handed him a broom. Confused, the traveller swept the courtyard. The next day, the monk handed him the same broom. Again, he swept. This continued for weeks. Finally, frustrated, the traveller demanded an explanation. "I came seeking wisdom, not chores." The monk smiled. "You believe greatness is hidden somewhere far away." He pointed toward the spotless courtyard. But greatness is often built through ordinary actions repeated faithfully. The traveller looked around. For the first time, he understood. Wisdom was not separate from discipline. It was expressed through discipline. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. The purpose of discipline is not to become a machine. It is not to eliminate joy. It is not to turn life into endless productivity. Discipline exists to help us become who we are capable of becoming. Because every day presents a choice: comfort or growth, delay or action, excuse or responsibility. And these choices, repeated over months and years, quietly shape our destiny. The Stoics believed that every person has a role to play, a contribution to make, a purpose to fulfill. Not necessarily something grand or famous, but something meaningful, something that only they can bring into the world. The tragedy is not failing. The tragedy is never beginning. The tragedy is allowing comfort to convince us that our potential can wait forever. Because time does not wait. The sunrise does not wait. Life does not wait. And neither should we. So tomorrow morning, when the alarm sounds and comfort calls your name, remember Marcus Aurelius. Remember the river. Remember the birds greeting the dawn. Remember that you were not born merely to consume days. You were born to participate in them, to contribute, to create, to grow, to fulfill the work that belongs to you. And if this reflection resonated with you, write below, what is one important thing you've been postponing that deserves your attention today? Subscribe to Why We Think, and together we'll continue exploring the timeless wisdom that helps us live with greater purpose, discipline, and clarity.